Well, hello guys. Welcome back to the stream. My name is Aaron Minjut. I am from the Rainbow Wing, and today, something a little different. So we usually stream PTCGO, but I thought, we got some leaked cards, and we should take a look at them. I think some interesting cards along the way. Oops, that's my phone. Give me a sec. Yep. So quite a few interesting cards that that have been spoiled, that have been leaked on PokerBeach. So I'll be using PokerBeach as the website to go through these cards because most of the scans are here. For those of you who don't know, SM3, which is Japan's Did You See the Fighting Rainbow and Light Consuming Darkness set. So it's two sets in Japan combined into one. And this is the backbone of what we will get in August, which is the Burning Shadows set. So, you know what, let's just go straight into it because, if you guys have already gone through the set on your own, it's all right, good for you. But I'm just gonna go through what I think are the good cards from the ones that have been leaked. So most of the other cards, the rest of the set, should be leaked tomorrow, which is Friday, the official release day of the set in Japan. But I thought why not just do it a little bit ahead of time because um, there's not probably there's no one going to be doing a review yet. Most of the YouTubers and most of the other content producers would be probably doing it tomorrow, this weekend, but I will be around this weekend. I'm actually heading outstation, so I thought why not. So the first set we'll go through, it's the light consuming darkness set. Do you know that in Japan it's two different sets and they are combined for the English sets. Um, so there's no Caterpie, there's no Metapod, not let because they're blank. The cards have not been leaked yet. We're going straight into the Butterfree. So I don't see a lot of cool stuff about this Butterfree. Bye healing is fun, but that's about it. Nothing too good about the Tangela as well, all the Tangrowth. Now, here's the first hyped card of the set. Not Wimpod, I mean Golisopod. But you can definitely take a look at Wimpod first. So, ability Whip Out. During your first turn, this Pokemon's retreat cost is 0. Now, this could mean two things. Um, it means that if you're going first or second, regardless, you should be able to get this out of the active using Wimp Out quite easily. But if you're not on your first turn, it's going to be 3 retreat costs, which in a way is good. Hear me out. That's because you can grab it with Heavy Ball, which is great because Golisopod GX is also having a 3 retreat cost. So essentially, Heavy Ball becomes very useful in the Golisopod GX deck. But that's just what I think. Wimp Out good somewhat, but retreat cost of 3 great for Heavy Ball. Now I can't remember what was the retreat cost of the other Golisopod, the other Wimpod I mean. I can't remember actually right now, but I don't think it was 3. I think it was 2. I think. But anyway, so Golisopod GX, uh, 3 really strong attacks I think, but I really think the first one is superb. So for 1 grass energy, first impression, 30 damage base, does 90 more if this Pokemon became your active Pokemon this turn. Now that's really strong for 1 energy, and at 210 HP, this is a really tanky Pokemon. Now the reason why this is actually good, it's not because on its own it's great. Retreating isn't that good a way to use the card because you're gonna pay 3 to retreat. You can use things like Switch and Floatstone, but if you use Floatstone, then you can't use Choice Band. But essentially, the reason why this card is actually good is because of Guzma. Is it Guzma? Guzma. I don't know. I can't pronounce that word, that name. But we'll get to Guzma later. So I'm just going to scroll through. God Support, great card. First attack, strong. Second attack, 100 damage for grass and double colors. 20 less damage. It's fine. It's iffy. Cut Cross GX, 150. It's alright. Now I'm starting to doubt myself when I said there's 3 strong attacks. I think the really strong one is actually the first one. Second and third, okay, decent, but not great. There's a new Gyarados card, in this set. All you Gyarados fanboys will be happy. For double colors, blast apart 50 damage times the number of Magikarp in this card pile. So you can do being 150 damage on a maximum basis because you can throw 3 Magikarps and have just one to evolve this Gyarados from. I think you could also work this out using Archie's Ace in the Hole. So your max damage can go up to 200, but you know it's difficult to do and whatnot. But you know, something to think about. Strong Gyarados, 150 HP for stage 1, which is really strong, really tanky. But yeah, that's about it. Um, Nothing else really that great here. Alright, so Raichu is fine. When you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during a turn, you may leave your opponent's active Pokemon paralyzed. That's alright. That's pretty cool. But you know, that's about it. The attack is alright. 130 damage for 3 energies, but then you're pretty much killing yourself next turn anyway. Yeah. Electros. I like Vacuum Volt actually, but stage 2 clunky. You don't have a problem. Swiper is interesting. So as long as Seviper is in play, you place 1 extra damage counter on a poison Pokemon between turns. This stacks. So with 4 Seviper in play, that's 40 extra damage. So you're doing 50 damage a turn with poison. In expanded, if you pair this with Verbank, you can do up to 70 damage. Sorry, 80 damage a turn just from poison, which is pretty good. The Dusknoir is pretty interesting. So once during a turn, you may look at your opponent's hand, put a basic Pokemon you find there, and then you put 3 damage counters on that Pokemon. Now, it's bad if you don't get anything from Dark Circle, but if you do, it actually fuels your Mind Jack attack. This is an attack that is currently on the Zorok, which is popular at the moment. Pretty cool. But it's also great if you are able to use multiple Dark Circles a turn, and then you use something like the Tapu Koko promo to just spread 20 damage to everyone. So you don't necessarily take prizes yet, but you keep putting damage on everyone on your opponent's side of the field. Pretty okay. Toxicroak is meh. Alright, so the next GX. This is the other GX that's been hyped up in a way. Necrozma. End of Light. It cannot be hurt by any colorless type Pokemon. So essentially this card against Mega Rayquaza, that's it. Right, so if Mega Rayquaza wasn't dead yet, this pretty much signals that it could be on its way out of the meta. So 2 attacks. The first one is Prison Burst. So you discard all Psychic Energy. So it's a colorless energy cost. It's a Psychic Pokemon, but you discard all Psychic energies attached. That's 60 damage times the number of energy discarded. On the maximum basis, sorry, on the minimum basis, if you're only playing Psychic Energies, you could be doing 190 damage. Now, I'm pretty sure that you'll probably be playing DCEs in this deck, if Necrozma is its own deck. So you can kinda chain the number of attacks you can do on consecutive turns, which is pretty good. Now the GX attack is pretty interesting. This attack does 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon EX and Pokemon GX. You don't apply weakness, you don't apply resistance, and that's about it. 100 damage, everyone gets hit. Now, if this is 110, it'd be really broken because then it knocks out Shaman EX, which is already seeing very little play because Tapu Lele GX has been much more popular. Sorry. So 100 damage for 3 colors energy is pretty alright, but it's not always going to be taking KOs for you. That's the problem, right? It's a good attack to spread damage, but it's your only GX attack in the game. If you're going to use that as your only GX attack, the fear is that if your opponent has been controlling his side of the field, his or her side of the field, you're probably not going to get a lot of value out of it. So that's the sad part about it. I think the hype here is because of End of Light on the ability, because it makes cards like Drampa, Rayquaza, Mega Rayquaza EX Tauros GX, all of those just start doing nothing to Necrozma. So I don't know. It could see itself as a tech just for that purpose. Um, I still think that Necrozma is a decent card. I'm not sure if it fits anywhere yet. I just think it's quite decent. Right, so let's move on. Let's move on. Rhyperior is interesting. It's a new version of a mill deck. You evolve this Pokemon, and you discard the top three cards. The only issue is that it's stage two, always a problem. Um, I just skip that attack. That attack isn't really that good. 4 energies, 470. Now Marshadow. Marshadow GX is interesting. It's essentially something like the old Mew Prime. So Mew Prime was able to copy attacks of Pokemon in your Lost Zone. So Marshadow allows you to copy attacks from basic Pokemon, only basic Pokemon, in your discard pile. So it's pretty limited because it's only basic Pokemon, but it's for those in your discard pile, which can mean quite a lot of things because you can be copying really strong attacks from other basic Pokemon, while you are a Marshadow, which is a fighting type Pokemon. Uh, it could give you an edge in some matchups when you're going up against cards like Drampa GX and Tauros GX, and essentially it gives you a lot of flexibility. But then again, you need to have the necessary energy, which means you're probably going to play Rainbow, and that's not great because Marshadow GX only has 150 HP. It's I think the lowest HP GX we have, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. Yep. Um, its its other attacks are iffy. Beat down for 120 is okay, fine, I guess. 100 Fissures GX, 50 times the number of basic energy attached to this Pokemon. It's meh because you'll probably be wanting to use this with, other type basic Pokemon in your discard pile. And if you're gonna have to use those attacks, you're gonna play Rainbow. And Rainbow energy does not fuel 100 Fissures GX. So it's a iffy card. I think there is potential, but it feels rather lackluster. Okay, so Alone Eradicate is pretty interesting. So I know a friend of mine who is a huge Eradicate fan. Reinforced Fang, 10 damage. If this Pokemon is a Pokemon tool, does 50 more. So attach a Choice Band. No, you don't have to have any energy. Hit for 90 against a GX. Pretty alright. Pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's great, but just imagine that. Eradicate used to have 60 HP in the old base set. Now it's at 120. So this guy's been really pumped up since the old days. Okay. So the next hype card in the set, Gardevoir GX. It was spoiled, I think, about a week ago. And my friends on Facebook have gone totally ballistic. Everyone is saying that their waifu is back. But alright, so essentially, it's a very strong ability. So once during a turn, attach a fairy energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. Always good to accelerate energy. First attack for one fairy does 30 damage times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. Sounds a lot like Mewtwo EX from the old days. So 30 times is a good base for one energy. Mewtwo EX used to do 20, so imagine how much of a change that has been. Twilight GX. Now this is interesting. Search your discard pile for 10 cards, show them to your opponent, and shuffle them back into your deck. It's a Brock's Grid on steroids. I don't know how great this is because if it's meant to be good, it has to have some form of way to actually make use of those 10 cards you put them back in. Good for recovery, but I would assume if you're playing Gardevoir, you should definitely play stuff like I don't know, Tapu Lele, and I actually think Tapu Kyo is actually a better attack than this. So yeah, but yeah, Gardevoir GX, a lot of hype, a lot of people liking it because the ability and the first attack synergizes very well. Oh, so we have a Fairy Mola, that's cool. The Zygarde here is meh. It's the first Dragon Zygarde we have, which is pretty awesome. That's about it. The Porygon Z is interesting. So when you play this card from your hand, you may devolve each of your opponent's evolved Pokemon. Now that's strong to an extent. You probably got to be spreading damage first, and then you drop this at the end. But if you're going to do this, you probably would be willing to play Espeon EX anyway. So I don't really see a lot of value from a 1-1-1 line of Porygon Z. This is another Beware. It's meh, doesn't really do much. Right, so now we're at the end of the first set, which is the Light Consuming Darkness set. Torment Spray is well, it's great for disruption, and for the most part, you would assume your opponent has to have a supporter card in hand, but it's not always the case. So you could be playing an item card for no effect, which is bad. Super Scoop Up is back. This is one of my favorite cards from the old days. It's a really game-changing card, which can be a good and bad thing because it's very much iffy. You're dependent on the coin flip, but I think that's the reason why I like it, because it adds a little bit of surprise to the game. Now this is Guzma. So switch your opponent's active Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon. Sound familiar? It's Lysander. Now, the second effect. Then switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. It's pretty much a switch. So a Lysander and Switch combine, essentially giving you a stronger version of Escape Rope, and I would argue a stronger version of Lysander, because it pairs well with Gallistopod. You bring out the exact target you want, and then you bring up a fresh Gallistopod, activating its first attack to become 30 base plus 60 for 90 damage for 1 energy. So from my understanding, my friends have said that Guzma actually has a Gallistopod in the game, something like that. I don't play the video games, I don't really know. But that's essentially why this card seems to work and synergize very well with each other. So do look out for this to become quite a formidable force, I would think. I'm just not sure if the damage is enough. 1 grass for 90 is okay. 420 with choice band, that's fine. But in a format where 1 hit kills are still quite common, I'm quite skeptical. 210 HP is a good HP though to have. So Wick is the next supporter card. Each player shuffles their hand to the deck and draws a new hand the same number of cards. I think there was a card like that before, and I don't seem to remember. Was it Caitlyn? Something like that? It didn't really see much play. But yeah, I don't see it as a really strong card anyway. Po Town. When either player plays a card from the hand to evolve something, place 3 damage counters on that Pokemon. Now in a format where evolutions are becoming much more common, this is huge. This is a very strong card. But I don't know which decks would want to play it. I would assume maybe it's actually great to be played in evolutions, because if you're using energy evolution, you don't actually take the 3 damage because you're getting the evolution card from the deck, not from your hand. It's probably going to find its way into some basic decks, basic Pokemon decks that don't need their own stadium, but that's about it. I don't see it anywhere else. So we can skip all of these. The artwork on the cards. Guzma's artwork is sick. Loving it. Wick is, yeah, alright. Right, so there is also this 3 cards. These are actually, I think, from the, so Necrozma is here. The Kiawe and Hojojax is actually from the second set. So let's go there. Oh yeah, Rescue Stretcher and Super Scoop Up, as well as Fair Energy are the secret rest. Alright, so then, the next one. Did you see the Fighting Rainbow? First card on the list, Valplume. And when it was first spoiled, I thought this was Trainerlock all over again. It's like, oh no, not another one. But it's not. It's pretty weird. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, so the ability, Bitter Pollen. If this Pokemon is your active, opponent's basic Pokemon can't attack. If this Valplume was printed in the last format, it's probably too strong because back then basic Pokemon was still running rampant. I think other than Greninja, it wasn't really. So when I say last format, I mean last year. So from my understanding, Night March was still around and whatnot, and Valplum would be an answer to all of that. But in the format right now, where a lot of decks, most decks are playing evolutions, it's in a very awkward spot. It's great, I like it, but I don't think it's going to be very good. Um, all right, so Heracross, the next one, pretty much a second life sort of thing. So I think this is a direct reprint of the effect for Focus Band from the old Neo era, if I'm not mistaken. If this Pokemon will be knockout, flip a coin. If it hits, it remains alive with 10 HP instead. So it gets very difficult to knock out if you're getting very lucky with flips. You keep this guy alive and you let it stay on 10 HP. Oh well, it's pretty fun. Would be great to see this in pre-release actually. Araquanid, yeah. So Catholic cuts to the depending Pokemon. It's fine. Just retreat and sun. Oh, okay. So Charizard GX. Now this was the hype card when it was first mentioned that there was going to be a Charizard GX, but I think it's meh. It's sad. Look at these two cards. These two are actually the hallmark cards of the set, and unfortunately they seem really lackluster. Let's start with Charizard. So for 3 colors, wing attack, 70 damage. Fine. Crimson Storm for 3 fires and a double colorless. 300 damage and you discard 3 fire from this Pokemon. It knocks out everything in the game without question. Everything just gets knocked out. Knocks out. Everything gets knocked out. Fine. Um, but at 5 energy, you're paying for a lot just to get that one knockout, and you're not even guaranteed that the knockout is going to be on a 2 price Pokemon. Um, and that's the fear here, right? If you're going up against a deck like maybe Zorok, and you're going to invest 5 energies into one Charizard, and then discard 3 of those 5 energies just to take 1 prize. Now that's not efficient at all. Now the GX deck is interesting. For fire and double colors, you discard the top 10 cards of your opponent's deck. That can be game winning, but unfortunately, if a player knows that he or she is playing up against a Charizard GX, they would pretty much have a backup plan in mind on how to make their deck last long enough, even if the GX attack comes into play. So overall, I think Charizard is unfortunately very meh. Ho though. Now those of you know, I actually have an affection for Ho. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. So for 1 fire and 2 colors, 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. A snipe. Unfortunately, a bit overpriced because Ninetales GX, even though it's an evolution, well, maybe because it's an evolution, it gets that perk for double colors. You do 50 to anywhere. If Sacred Fire was 60, now that's going to be good because then you can snipe stuff like Rowlets and Vulpixes off your opponent's bench. But at 50, it's meh. Same problems that Vulpix has. Now Phoenix Bird. For 3 fire and a colorless, 180 damage. And you can't use Phoenix Bird next turn. Not the worst attack. And with a choice band, you're able to take knockouts on, the evolutions. But to commit 3 fires and 1 colorless, that's a big investment. Excuse me. Just like how Charizard has trouble getting 5 energies on it. Of course, I'm not going to talk about Kiawe yet. Let's talk about that later. But at first glance, Ho GX with 4 energies, that's rough. But let's look at the GX deck. Now this is the interesting one. For fire double colorless, put 3 in combination of fire Pokemon EX or Pokemon GX from a discard pile onto your bench. So this can be really, really good depending on what options it has available. So there aren't many that I mean, there aren't many great Pokemon EX from the old era. I think the old Pokemon EX that come to mind that are fire type would probably be stuff like Hondoom and Charizard EX. Um, Anything else? Those are the only two I remember. Yeah, that's about all I remember. So I'm sure there are others, but I can't really recall them right now. But that's it from the EX era. There's not really anything notable. Now, if they start printing good Pokemon GX, maybe we'd see um a use for Ho, right? But that's about it. I don't really have much to say. I was quite disappointed when it was first spoiled a few weeks ago. I think about a few months ago. I don't know. I can't remember now. But I think it has potential, and at 190 HP, there is some hope for it. I think. So anything else? Simisia is meh. Hitmo is mm, Kingdra. Brine or Bryn. 90 damage to someone that already has damage counters in a format where Team Magma's hideout is quite commonly played. That's a good attack. For water energy, 90 damage. This got a water energy attached to Pokemon, and then you snipe 30 to open the bench. That's really efficient. So 120 damage, discard a water energy. I think that speaks a lot about the potential that Kingdra has. Um, but I don't quite know if people are going to be quick to grab it. It's going to be something like Garchomp. Garchomp was great, but was good, but not great. I think that's the thing you're looking for. It's a good card, efficient attacks, but whether is it great enough to become its own deck, don't know. Remains to be seen. Um, Not too much here. Wobbuffet is interesting for 3 psychics. You do 50 damage times the number of um, essentially times the retreat cost of your opponent's Pokemon. You can modify this with the Sun and Moon Dog Trio. You can modify it with Team Aqua's Hideout Secret Base. Sorry, Team Aqua's Secret Base. So you can be hitting for a lot of damage, but 3 Psychic is the problem, sadly. Right. So moving to the next card. Scolipede is meh. Palosan is meh. Lucario, well, it gets immunity, so for one turn you get total immunity. It's fine. For a Abominable, so this is interesting. For one fighting, you do 80 damage, and then you do you do damage yourself based on how much you already have on you. So if you're fresh, you don't do anything to yourself. That's fine, I guess. But the next turn, at 140 HP, you're probably knocking yourself out if you're gonna use Guts Hammer again, unless you can heal it off, which is the whole other issue. So there is some, some cool stuff about it. So this is Alolan Grimer, new one, Darkness type. So multiply such a deck for Alolan Grimer, putting it on your bench for colorless and for no energy actually. Yeah, so it's a free attack. Not bad. If Vulpix is good for being able to search out 2 Pokemon from your deck with Beacon, Alolan Grimer with Multiply is great, and that's because you have a very strong Alolan Muk GX now. Focus straight on the GX attack because it goes well with the no energy sort of concept. So you choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and you make them Poison, Burn, and Paralyze. Seem to work very well with Salandit from Sun and Moon 2. So consider that as a combo. I can't remember what Salandit does, but I remember thinking that there was a combo worth exploring. The other attacks are alright. Chemical Press does more damage for more special conditions, so you can try Hazard and then Chemical Press. Crunch is, I would think, overpriced for 120 damage. Sorry, for 4 energies for 120 damage, and you discard 1 energy attached. Not the best, but sometimes you just have to invest that extra energy to get damage done if Chemical Press is not going to be enough. So this Darkrai is the basic Darkrai. So there is a Darkrai GX in this set. which has been spoiled somewhere, I guess. But yeah, but this Darkrai, the basic one, the non-GX, it's interesting. The second attack for dark and a double colorless does 160 if you already use a GX attack. Not bad, I think it's pretty strong. Malama is Ribombi. Now once you return, switch deck for 2 basic energy, put them in hand. Combos, combos, combos with Gardevoir GX. These cards were made for each other. And you do this every turn. You don't even need to like worry about playing it down and then it's stuck on your bench. You do this every turn as long as you have a Ribombi in play. It's pretty good. Neuven GX. The return of a kid or the prodigal child of Seismitoad EX and Giratina EX. Distortion for dark and colorless is item block. For Psychic, dark and colorless, it's a special energy lock. So that's what Neuven seemed to indicate. It's about disruption, and the damage on these attacks are pretty good. I think it's not bad anyway. For 2 energies, you're doing 50. For 3 energies, you're doing 120. Quite efficient, and you're locking. Its GX attack is a spread attack, 50 damage to everything on your opponent's side of the field. Again, it's not always going to get you knockouts, but if you're able to lock your opponent out of items for long enough turns, and then you pretty much have stuff like Tapu Koko helping you out, spreading damage, and then using Explosive Soundwave GX to take knockouts, that could work. And Neuven does have free retreat, so it does combo well with other Pokemon that have that sort of maneuverability. So yeah, I think the card has potential, but without Double Dragon Energy, once it gets rotated, that's the problem, I think. Persian, Noctowl, Flaunt. So this is Noibat, the card that evolves into Neuven. Right, so now to the trainers. You have a Rotom Dex Poker Finder mode. Pick the top 4 cards, put them back in any order if you like, or shuffle them back. Just not gonna see play, I don't think. Muscle Dumbbells. Now, if this card is attached to a Stage 1 Pokemon, its max HP is increased by 40. It's very much like Fighting Fury Belt that was for basics. But as you guys know, Fighting Fury Belt is on its way out of the format because of Field Blower. You don't get enough value out of attaching a Fighting Fury Belt because someone can just Field Blow it off and then you lose that 40 HP. So Muscle Dumbbells are in that same category, but because it's on Stage 1 and Stage 1 GXs are already naturally tanky, it may see some use to an extent, but I think Choice Band is still the main tool of choice, I would think. Kiawe. Now this is the reason why a card like Charizard GX may see some use. You can use Kiawe to immediately pump 4 energies onto a fire Pokemon. Sorry, onto any Pokemon, but it has to be fire energies. Imagine going turn 1, Kiawe onto your Ho-Oh GX and immediately doing 180 damage. Now that can happen. So that's the only reason those cards, those fire GX Pokemon can actually be playable. Because it's fast enough. So you don't need stuff like max elixirs. You just immediately use Kiawe and you get those energies in play. I would be 100% willing to try this deck out because I want Ho-Oh to work so badly. And I'm definitely getting myself Ho-Ohs and Kiawes just to play the deck. And that's my first deck. I'm promising you guys that is my first deck to try out on the channel. Once we get to August when SM3 is launched. Right? Now, next card, the next supporter, which is interesting, Plumeria. You discard 2 cards from your hand, and you discard an energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Essentially, it's a better crashing hammer. So instead of flipping a coin, you're actually discarding 2 cards, and discarding 2 cards isn't always a bad thing. Stuff like Darkrai GX, stuff like Volcanion, for example, would actually be really happy to discard 2 cards so that you can actually get value out of it. But discarding one energy attached to any of your opponent's side of the field, that's really strong if you can couple that with hammers and whatnot. So I see some potential of Plumeria. I don't know because I'm not a big fan of disruption decks, but to my friends who seem to be playing those kind of decks, they are quite excited. Mount Lanakila. Now, if Po Town had an effect on evolution type Pokemon, stage ones, I mean, was it stage one? Evolution? No, as you evolve, you get 3 damage counters. Mount Lanakila increases the retreat cost of your basic Pokemon, of any basic Pokemon. And I don't think this is that great in that sense. This is essentially Team Aqua's hideout, but not as impactful. Yeah. So anyway, I think we're almost at the end of it. So this is just the artwork of the full art versions of Charizard GX and Ho-Oh GX. Look at that card. I'm starting to like the art more and more. I gave it a 7 or a 7.5 when it first got spoiled, but I'm liking it more and more now. Yeah, so these are the cards that have been spoiled so far. That's alright. So yes, Escape Rope gets a Secret Rare reprint and Muscle Dumbbells as well, and the Fire Energy at the end of it. So essentially, that's the entire set. Of course, there are more cards to come tomorrow. We won't be reviewing them because we probably only be streaming next week. Our next stream will probably be next week. I'll be out station this weekend. But you know, there's a lot to talk about from this set. I think it's a great set. I think it's a good set, but I don't think it's going to be as great as Sun and Moon 2, Guardians Rising. I think Guardians Rising is still the ultimate set so far, even after considering cards from SM3. Anyway, let's go into. Oh, okay. Let's go into PTCGO. So just a casual stream. Let's try and play out some of the. Let's climb the ladder. I mean. Sliding in. Getting a reward. Oh, it's a booster pack. Now I'll be opening 15 packs. Those are the packs that have been sponsored by some of our friendly league friends. But before that, just a shout out, a happy birthday to one of the founding members of the Rainbow Wing, Darren Chen. Darren, happy birthday to you, man. It's great having you as a friend and great having you in the Rainbow Wing. Darren is the author of the Expert Belt series on our blog. Do check it out. Yeah, definitely going to celebrate his birthday one of these days. So let's go straight into the pack. So we were sponsored 15 Guardians Rising packs, and we are due to open them online today. We were supposed to open it, I think, a few days ago, but unfortunately the stream couldn't go up. So let's go in. Let's open 15 packs. We're at 44 right now. 15 will land us at 29. So someone please remind me if I go overboard. I don't want to go overboard. Yep. Let's go. Start of it, go to tell. That's meh. Pack number 2 is a Lunala. We still don't have a lot from this set. We only have 2 Tapu Leles. Oh, what's this? Tapu Koko, now that's great. The next deck we plan to build is Tapu Bulu GX. Having a Tapu Koko is great because some of these decks the list I've seen actually run one Tapu Koko. Next pack, Cortical again. That's pretty sad. So our fifth pack. We have 15 packs open. Thank you to Michael as well as Nicholas. You guys have been awesome. Oh, got Rampa. They sponsored 15 packs, and I'm just dedicating this opening and this stream to their sponsorship, their donation. Ah, Sogaleo. That's nice. Politoad, not something we want. 7 more packs to go. And so far, 1 GX, a Tapu Koko normal art. Oh, and we get another one. We have a Komo GX. Not the best to get, but you know, at least it's something. If you're just joining us, welcome to the stream. My name is Aaron. I am from the Rainbow Wing. We are a page on Facebook focusing on the Pokemon TCG in Malaysia and Southeast Asia. And we got our third GX out of, you know, less than 15 packs, a Sylveon. A lot of hype around this card. Unfortunately, the hype has fizzled out right now. So I'm just going through some packs that were sponsored by our friends in the TCG community. Thank you once again to Nicholas and Michael. You've already given us 3 GXs in less than 15 packs. Right, this is our second to last pack. And we get 4 GXs. So a Turtonator. Wow, so we actually have a really good rate. Oh, one more. So 15 packs from 44 to 29. So that's 4 GXs, all normal art though, but 4 GXs in 14 packs. That's a pretty good rate. Ha! Challenge request. Hang on. Just opening packs. Another Como. So that's, wow, 5 GXs from 15 packs. That's a pack every 3. That's a GX every 3 packs. That's a pretty good rate. I'm just gonna open an evolution of that as well, because you know we have quite a bit of luck running around, and I thought, why not? Let's just go. That's a free one anyway. So what can we get from here? Foil Arcanine? Double Arcanine. Okay. Let's open the one Sun and Moon. Should I? Yeah, let's open one Sun and Moon. Yep, so we're done with openings. We pretty much, I guess our luck just ran out a little bit, I guess. Closing all this. Yep, so there was a challenge earlier. Hang on. Yeah. So I probably have time for one match. And after that it's off to bed, I guess. So let's try one match. Oh, okay. Yeah, hang on. Whoa, chill. Um, I can't seem to find my deck. There we are. Okay. Yep. So we have gone through some changes since we last played, since the last stream. Okay, going first is always great. It's a great start. So it's Drumpa Zorok, probably. Highly likely. Definitely playing Ultra Ball here. Hmm. Yeah, it's a friend of mine and he knows he's on stream. Let's take a good look at the deck. See what's priced. We don't have many of the crucial parts priced. One Mitang. Oh, right, so that's a big board we have. So I'm not sure if he's listening on me. That's why I can't really tell if I should be, saying stuff about my hand. That's the problem when you're playing with friends who know you're online. So let's keep a secret, right? He could be watching. I don't know. If he's watching, then fine. But if it's not, then right. So we can pass. We have a good setup for next turn. Okay. Wow. That's a very early GX attack. So he gets to keep a very large hand, which is bad. It's okay. We get the turn 2 beacon again. We keep setting up our stuff. And we should be fine. That's the concern now, right? Mind Jack. Sorok has been pretty strong in the meta recently. It's probably grabbing 3 Zoroks, which is fine, I think, because we can knock each of them out with 1 hit anyway. Mm-hmm. So my target this game is probably should be knocking out the Drumpa as well as the Shaman. Okay, it doesn't end. Why would you play the VS Seeker though? Hmm. Okay. Stand in the field blower. It's fine. 130 damage. All we need is an energy. And we shall dig for it. And we get it. We don't need to play anything else. So we do take a prize. So maybe I should have played this. Not too sure. Let's see. Zorok break. Okay. So there's a foul play attack, which can copy an attack from my Pokemon, my active Pokemon. But that's fine because I'm still surviving my own Giga Hammer. Grabs an N. Hex Maniac. Alright, interesting. Oh, I'm sorry, my friend, Mr. Izmi Amani. So there's a huge swing there. I was able to take a knockout with the same Metagross twice. 3 prizes down. Now essentially my my choice bands don't really mean much anymore. Alright, so it goes for another Hex. That's fine. That's okay. Hmm. I can definitely retreat here, which I think I should. Go to this Metagross. My question is, do I Geotech? Oh, sorry, do I Algorithm? I think I should. Because next turn if he has a DCE, he's gonna knock out my my other Metagross on the bench anyway. Hello, Mr. Darren Shen. Welcome to the chat and happy birthday, man. Yep, go for algorithm. Yeah, you're gonna end. Fine, fine. But I'm just gonna grab my stuff anyway. Hello, everyone in chat. Welcome to the stream, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the 5 cards that I want anyway. He's kind enough to tell us that he's gonna end, but you know, that's about it. So if he grabs the a DCE of this end, then he's able to knock out the bench Metagross GX, which is a huge swing in his favor. But if he doesn't, then we get double geotech systems next turn again, which is always good. It's a very interesting matchup, I think. Zorok Drumpa versus Metagross. We essentially can knock out everything that he has. So okay, so he whiffs the DCE. So that keeps our bench Metagross alive. Alright, goes for foul play. That's fine. I think I'm definitely going for Sycamore here. Yeah, I'm just trying to get rid of the Vulpix. Okay. Now I have a small problem here now. We can easily do a Geotech. But what I want is actually energy on the bench Metagross. This is probably the best play I have. Unfortunately, a Mind Jack kills the Metagross anyway. So I'm not sure if I should have gone for Lysander last turn. But you know what? We're fine. I think we just go with this. It's the best play we have, I think. So it really depends now. If he goes for the okay, goes for an end, that's fine. If he goes for the flying flip, then we lose the one on the bench, but then we get to attack again with the one in front. If we draw the VS Seeker, he goes OMG, probably with the energy, I think. That's the only reason why. Magma's hideout. Oh, secret base, sorry. Ah, alright, fine. Okay. But again, foul play. Yep. We don't really have much choice anymore, unfortunately. Oh, what a top deck. Yeah, we're having a rough game right now, but I guess we can still carry on. And we need to draw something out of our prizes, and everyone knows what it is. Okay, that's alright. Now my concern now is the Drumpa. Big concern. But the question is, does he have the energy? He does, and he does have it on the Shaman. Oh shit. Oops, sorry. Sorry, we have one prize anyway. Okay. Okay. Yep, Sky return, return. So we don't really have much left to do. Doesn't really matter which energy, but let's give it Psychic Energy. It's all we can do, folks, unfortunately. We didn't draw well off our supporters. We didn't get that last max potion we needed. And when we had it, we got end away. That's always sucky. But I think the deck performed well against Drampa Zorok. It's a decent matchup, I think. We just have to really know when to take prizes. So I think the only misplay we had was not using the Lysander to take out the benched Shaman earlier. That would have given us 2 prizes. So it'll be 1 turn ahead. Anyway guys, if you guys are joining us today, we actually have gone through earlier in the show, in today's stream, some spoilers from Burning Shadows, which was actually the first spoilers we got from this week's launch of the Japanese set in Japan. And after that, we went through some pack openings sponsored by 2 of our friends at League, Michael and Nicholas. Thanks again, guys, for 15 packs of Guardians Rising, which yielded 5 GXs. Oh, goes for Lysander. Okay. So this is rough, folks. We're not drawing well off anything right now. Okay. Do we win? Sorry, I was checking my phone actually. Do we win, guys? Let me see. I don't think we do. How do we win? My brain is not working right now. How do we win? Uh, oh, we do win. Do we? Hang on. No, we don't. Oh, that's sad. Okay. So I'm guessing he has the DCE in hand. He definitely should have the DCE in hand, otherwise he wouldn't be doing what he's doing right now. So I can definitely go ahead and attach this energy first. Doesn't make a difference. Now, do I still have a choice band? No, I don't. I do not have any more choice bands. Hmm. My gut feel is telling me to go for an N. Let's see what we have in deck. Mm-hmm. Let's see now. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. He still has the Zorok in play. Oh wow, Sycamore? Really? Uh, that's always a bummer. Yeah, I'm not even going to care. I'm going to concede straight away. That's an insane top deck. And we're done for the night. I'm going to cut this part of the stream out from the video. That's for sure. Alright guys, we're done for today. What's going on? Yeah. Thank you so much guys for tuning in. I would like to also inform you guys that we have our YouTube channel up, and I will be moving these videos from Twitch to YouTube. We also have some highlights set up already on the Twitch channel. This is actually my personal Twitch channel. We have not actually gotten ourselves a Rainbow Wing Twitch channel, but essentially all the content here would be placed onto the YouTube channel. Links of which you can find on our Facebook page. Find for us, we're called the Rainbow Wing on Facebook. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll be seeing you guys next week. I'm away for the weekend, and we're definitely gonna have more streams up. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.